sometimes I look back at that. There's like a little sliver of time in like the later 80s to the early 90s where there was some really that was a little sliver of very good movies that came out in that era.
Oh yeah, Forrest Gump, right?
I mean, Forrest Gump. I mean, Jurassic Park. The tail end of Indiana Jones, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future. Like some of the most imaginative movies came out in that little sliver right there. Like such cool movies. It's like a Pixar era. Like when Pixar was firing on all cylinders, there was that era where it was just like banger after banger. It just
here's the thing though, Scar. Is there a little bit of like nostalgia bias? Like we're a similar age, you and I imagine people like cheering along in your chat, going, "Yeah, that era was great." It's like we're all the same age. There's a reason why. Like a lot of do you find like a lot of content creators that you watch happen to be like a similar age or generation to you?
I guess so, but I do feel like there is specific eras where movies are great because you can look back at like there were some really interesting movies made in the 70s. Really like dark movies made in the 70s, and you could look back at like just like the timeline of like Disney animation and how it's like broken up into like dark eras and good eras. But I could see there is definitely a bias towards like when you're a kid, everything seems great and wonderful, and you always look back at only the positives.
Yes. Yeah, there is that bias.
Yeah. I just look back at that sliver of time there's like a 10-year span of just fantastic movies.
I agree. Like I think you should love what you love, right? I'm so with you. But I've also noticed that, like, for me, the late 90s to early noughties has a vibe that I absolutely love as well. It's a little more aggressive and darker, I think. Like, the early 90s, late 80s, that's got much more wholesome vibe to it.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the turn of the millennium, I mean, movies like The Matrix, right? I love the vibe of that era too.
Oh, that was a different. That is an interesting. Yeah, the Matrix. What else came out at that 2000 era when Matrix came out? What other stuff came out then?
I don't know why Final Destination comes to mind because that's not top tier stuff. But Donnie Darko would be like another one from that era.
Donnie who?
Memento, Fight Club. Fight Club's dark, right?
I never saw that. There's a lot of movies in that era that I didn't actually see. Because that's when I was young and I was mostly watching Ghostbusters and Jurassic Park and all that stuff. I didn't watch some of those darker movies until a little later. Transformers.
Fight Clubs is a must-see, man.
Actually, I'm going to say this. Transformers, the first Transformers wasn't a terrible movie. That was actually, it was what it was, like kind of like a silly blockbustery movie. The ones that went past that were rough. Those were rough.
I haven't seen any Transformers.
The first one's not bad. It's just a Jerry Bruckheimer movie. Like, you know, explosions. Everybody's like, woohoo. It just got real bad as it went on. But I've never seen Fight Club. Is that a good one? People always talk about it.
It's great. I think you'll appreciate it if you see it in your formative years a little more because so much of it is tied up in like questioning things around you and identity and
I see.
Living in a corporate world, you know, it tackles materialism and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah,
it's like layered. It's one of those ones that you'll always appreciate rewatching because there's different like viewpoints you can look at it and different ways you can interpret what it's about.
Interesting. Yeah. See that the whole bias thing of like looking back at eras and only seeing the good of the eras and not the bad of that era, that does happen a lot as you get older, especially. But I do look at like movies in the last couple years. Like, I think we're in kind of a dud era. Like, I think taking away nostalgia of prior eras, I feel like we're in a kind of a dud era.
I'm with you partially. Like, I
just can't think of any like
I've got
stuff.
two thoughts on what's happening at the moment.
Okay.
One is it doesn't feel like there's big cult. This is actually your idea. You said this and it got stuck in my head, and now I see it. You said this a while ago. It doesn't feel like there's these big cultural touchstones that we all share.
Exactly.
And the other thing is, actually, it's probably really quite related, but now it feels like there's so much content being created that's more mid than top tier because, like, we've got these algorithms and people get channeled the exact thing they like. But this means like nothing has to be as exceptional because there's so much stuff for everyone to enjoy in their little niche.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I found myself tired of like movies and even like YouTube content. I'm just spending a lot of time like enjoying stuff from the past. Like I'm rewatching The Sopranos at the moment. And after that, I'm going to rewatch The Wire. It's great.
I like
It's
The
a
Wire.
really
I'm sure it's
show.
probably similar HBO vibes. I would like it probably.
You would. If you like The Wire, you'd like The Sopranos. I mean, The Sopranos is like the beginning of prestige television, right? And The Wire just, shortly after knocked it out the park.
Yeah.
Are you one of these people like me that will bang on about The Wire and call it the best thing ever?
I definitely yeah. It's not like my
Awesome.
ultimate like favorite, but it's a very, very good show.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good show. I don't know. I think it's I think it's becoming rarer and rarer on the internet to have something that is like, when we started on YouTube, there was a lot of things that like it was just the trend of the moment. Like, remember the Gangnam Style, the Harlem Shake, the Ice Bucket Challenge, all of those things that brought like a lot of different people together to do whatever they were going to do. There's nothing like that anymore. Like maybe a crazy raccoon shows up for about 5 seconds and then it's gone. Like there's nothing like that anymore on the internet, unfortunately.
It feels like there's not, but it might be that we're getting old and we're out of like what's air quotes in.
Well, I think it's the fragmentation of the internet now, because when we started, YouTube was like the main thing. Now there's people in like giant communities on TikTok. There's giant communities on Twitter. There's giant communities on Instagram. Like, and these are all like siloed off areas that have their own like cultural thing going on within them. So like
when you say it's the main thing, like we got in on YouTube when it was like new, fresh, hot. It was young, like.
But there wasn't any other platform that distributed like video content like YouTube. Now it's like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all these different things. So it's all, there's so many like, because like I was listening to somebody talk about all these crazy things going on TikTok. They're like, oh my God, this is the big thing happening right now and all this stuff. And like, I'm completely oblivious. But back in the day, it was just like Facebook and YouTube. They were two different things, but there was less like giant communities over all different spaces. There was more like, when you had the Ice Bucket Challenge or all those different things, like I don't know.
I think that was us being in the space where the things were happening, right? And as we've gotten older, we've lost touch with that like edge of what the youth are into. Because they are on TikTok and there are trends and things going viral, right?
Yeah.
If we're just I spend zero time on TikTok. So like, and I'm very aware that the cultural things that everyone like get connected over just happens over there now. It doesn't seem to happen on YouTube.
Yeah. I don't know. It just feels like there isn't just like one place where everybody goes like on YouTube to watch long form content. It was just easier, I think, back then too, because the platform was much smaller too. Like now you have people that probably don't watch long form videos at all. They just watch YouTube shorts. And then there's people that don't touch that. And then there's people that don't touch YouTube. They just touch TikTok. There's people that on TikTok that don't go anywhere else but TikTok. Like before, like everybody was on YouTube, and the gaming space in particular was mostly Call of Duty at the start and Minecraft. Now it's like very broad, lots of different games being played, different styles. Like, so it was easier, I think, to have those big moments than in the past. And there's less things that bring people together just in general. Like as much as people hated it, the YouTube Rewind was a way for all YouTubers to kind of love to hate something and not gotta take it away.
Yeah, it gave us something to all look at together.
Yeah, there's very little for all people to get together to look at. Like everything's so siloed out.
How do you think it's affecting you as a creator? Like that disconnect from being a part of that YouTube scene, feeling like stuff was happening on this platform?
I feel like YouTube as a community is just gone. Now it's like in your little sub community, where it felt like at one point, even if like another YouTuber was doing something completely different, a lot of people knew each other.
Yeah.
But now it's so big, you can never know somebody. It's like a small town versus a big city. And that's kind of sad, but it's just inevitable. It's like Twitch. Twitch kept that community for longer than YouTube did, but it's gone. It's just now like a platform. Like people used to like have like most Twitch streamers knew who was on the platform. Now it's impossible, and it's been impossible probably for like 8 years now or more. But it's just different.
And is this just it getting too big, or is it the changes the platforms are making themselves?
Well, I think over time the platforms will just expand, and there'll be different genres that people will be so uninterested they'll just never cross over. But it also is the Twitch itself. Like Twitch before, most of the people working at Twitch had come from the Call of Duty space. A good majority of them had come from creating content like YouTube videos and stuff like that. So Twitch was very integrated within the community, but as Amazon continued to like take hold of it, most of those people who started with Twitch and, you know, created it and created the community around it are gone. And now it's just like a corporate shell selling your content to an AI algorithm, which came out yesterday. So it's very different.
I heard you mention that earlier. This content's being trained on the AI models, right?
Yeah.
You know, I gave them a lot of leeway for a long time because when this stuff first arrived, they're all talking about UBI and working with people to figure out what are we going to do about all of this content that we've used to create this technology. And the years are rolling by and they're basically doing nothing about it. You know, it's all talk.
Yeah.
And now they're just taking all our content and training this AI thing. I have zero faith that they are in some way trying to give us something back. They're just, you know, trying to create this technology to serve them.
Humans sold out a long time ago when we got, you know, you look back, I don't know about the UK, but the United States, there's a lot of protections around mail. So you send something in the mail, there's a lot of laws around it because you're sending what could be tax documents, very personal things through the mail, right? Americans sold out to corporations for the ease of email, and look at Google. They'll take your email, they'll run through it, they'll use it for ads, they'll scan it, they'll do whatever they want to it, and there's little to no protections. And then as AI continues to come on, there's nothing. We didn't put proper rules in the beginning, so now there's just a wild west now, and it's
I think the technology has moved quicker than people react to it.
Oh yeah, governments can't react.
Like the reason you have protection on your mail in America, I imagine, is because people found vulnerabilities with it, took advantage of it, and then they're like,
yeah.
right,
it's 100+ year whatever. But like in the boom of the internet, like things move so fast, and there's too much money and power that those protections never got implemented. So Americans sold out their data, and now they're selling out their souls to data, or to AI, that is, because they did not put any protections in place. So if someone was at one of the roundtables with Dan Clancy for Twitch, which those do happen, somebody needs to stand up and ask, how are you compensating the Twitch streamers for you using the AI algorithm to train off their content? You'll get a great answer if you do, because they're not going to be able to answer, and it'll be hilarious. Because they're going to be like, well, part of our terms and services are like, just put them on the spot. Like somebody needs to put them on the spot.
You touched on it really well there. It's our data that's very valuable, and we've sort of given it away because people don't understand the technology and don't understand how they're giving away data, because they're being tracked, everything you're doing online.
Yeah.
And that data is just so valuable, and that's helped.
Oh yeah, people don't realize how valuable their data is, and they sold it out a long time ago for the ease of emails and this and that. But they really like sold out a lot of what about, you know, their data is so valuable that they have no clue how valuable it was for years and how valuable it is with the stupid AI algorithms, or the
I think
snippers.
the tide is turning a little bit with data, but the place where the tide has turned is with social media. There's now like laws in Australia and the UK where they're trying to get young people off social media. If they're effective or not, who knows? But clearly, like our generation and around our generation have grown up with this stuff for 10 years plus, and we're now starting to realize, hey, there's some real negatives that come along with this. And that's like with the mail, we had the time to see those negatives and then respond to them. But like, as we're starting to see the problems with social media, we're struggling with like AI and data now, and it's all coming at us too fast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're not able to react quick enough to all of this.
If I had a kid that was coming into the social media era, I don't think it's something that you can force the kid not to do. Like, it's one of those things that you can't put the toothpaste back in the genie bottle, but you could at least teach them tools to deal with it. And I think a lot of people didn't realize like just giving kids this stuff was going to have negative consequences, which I don't blame them. Like nobody really knew what any of this was. But I think one of the big things, really simple things to tell a kid is like, you know how when you eat junk food, it feels really great at the moment and then you feel terrible later? Like you feel like, oh, that's the same thing as ingesting bad information and junk content. It's the same thing. Like you're addicted to like the scrolling and then you go away from it and you feel kind of icky. It's because you're ingesting junk. You're ingesting junk content. Like think about like if you watch something that's very uplifting, it makes you like feel better. But if you're just ingesting like negative drama, if you're starting to like feel the urge to always be a part of drama, like that's bad for your brain. Like that's bad. Like so just try to like teach them like how to identify like especially misinformation, especially identify like just bad content that's just rotting your mind and making you feel gross. Because there's content that just makes you feel gross when you watch it, but it also has this weird like tug to make you watch it or something, and just to fight that. That's how I would try to teach someone that.
I know what that tug you're talking about is, and I see it so much now, and I remind myself what it is that I actually, when I do a little bit of doom scrolling on YouTube through the thumbnails, I actually kind of get like a bit of a negative feeling before seeing the content, because what they do is they create an information gap in front of you. They use the title and a thumbnail to frame an idea as if you're missing a bit of the story, the bit that you really need to know about, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's fear, sometimes that's curiosity, but the video has to sort of propose something that you're missing, and it creates a sense of FOMO. And I've been lured into so many topics that I'm actually interested in just to hear the things I already know, because the thumbnail is designed to pull you in like that, right?
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. And you know, the other thing too is like, like as YouTubers, we kind of know why people do certain things in their videos that maybe somebody just watching the video wouldn't realize. But so many videos now, because I watch a lot of like history or educational stuff or how something works, and how they all now just pack in at least 6 minutes of just like random history of something. And they're just doing, because if you're like, why is this airport doing this? And then there's like 8 minutes of just pointless history about nothing. And then there's the actual thing you want to like see at the back end of it. It's because they're just trying to stretch the time.
Yep.
They're trying to get past a certain point so they get better ads. And then they get past another point, they get more mid rolls or whatever.
There's these tricks of structuring your video where you bait an idea, and then you sort of imply we'll come back to that later. And then as you're getting towards concluding that idea, you then bait the next idea. And so people structure their videos with like this idea of putting an idea in the viewer's mind, the person who's watching, that they got to keep watching because the next bit that they just teased you about is coming. And it takes the soul out of the content.
Yeah, I don't mean to toot our own horns, but Hermitcraft's kind of chill.
Dude, I was literally thinking...
It's kind of an anomaly now in the actual YouTube and even in the Minecraft space now. Like, we're like a dinosaur that people still seem to find enjoyment out of, and that makes me happy.
Yeah. I was thinking about pivoting to saying, hey, we're different. We can't do that really here because we constantly have to explore and express our own creativity to create content, and it just doesn't fit that other type of formula that's dominating YouTube right now.
I see, like in the chat, like some people like that, some people like that's why I skip parts of videos. Yeah, you want to kill a video, you skip parts of it. that's how you kill someone's video.
Once you start skipping, you kind of like pull yourself out of it as well, I think.
Yeah, it happens in the life series. Like people will just like turn on a video, you can see it in the statistics, and like go to a specific spot and then bail. And it's like, bro, you just killed my video.
Do people do that with classic TV shows and movies, right? I don't think people do. I could be mistaken, but I can never recall, unless it's like a comedy and you opened up like an episode of The Office to see the bit where like Dwight puts that mask on his face or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't watch TV shows like that. You don't jump around.
Oh, Chad has something. I don't want to forget this. One of like the clip farming that happens now, where streamers or YouTubers do something very specific, and you can see it like in their streams or whatever, when they're all they're doing is just, how do I explain this? They're not just in the flow of the content. You can see it. They're looking for moments of clippage, and they're
like, if I just all of a sudden like whacked out the sword and the lava started going, Scar, I'm gonna kill you and destroy your items.
It's something, yeah, but it could be in a lot of different
moment.
streams, not just Minecraft or whatever. But you can sense it, and even if you're like streaming with somebody and you can sense that they're getting themselves in ready for a clip moment, like it's like everything like slows for a second. I don't like. I'm not a huge fan of it. I see a benefit of clips, and I think it can be done well. But I don't like content creators just farming for them. I really don't like that. Really don't like that.
Our discussion today has been explaining to me my recent dissatisfaction with a lot of content, especially online. It's all these things. This is like behind the creating process. Whatever videos pop into your feed and you're going to watch next, all of this kind of stuff is behind it. Like, where do I get the clips out of this content?
Yeah.
How do I maximize the engagement? And it's just sucking the soul out of the content.
That's why I feel like Hermitcraft is a little bit of an anomaly, because we're pretty chill.
Yeah.
I feel like we're pretty chill, and like the videos don't like borderline give you a seizure. Like lately, there's been some videos where they cut so fast, and there's like every 5 minutes there's like a meme flashing and all this music like woohoo, and that it's like, oh my god, like maybe I'm just getting too old for this, but like I that's just too much. That's why we're kind of an anomaly here. One more pet peeve. Go for it. People put ads in their videos. That's perfectly fine. Like I do them, so I'm not above that by any means. I do it. That's how I pay my bills. Okay. What I don't like about ads is when they deceptively add it to a script and you're watching a video, especially an informational video, and you're talking about a topic, and then all of a sudden we're just in an ad. And I'm like, where's the line where we were learning about something and now I'm learning about a product? Whereas like when I do stuff, it's a hard cut. It's like, hey, we're going to a commercial break, so at this point, we're going to a commercial break. We're not like talking about a topic and then a minute in, you're like, wait, are you selling me that? I hate that. I hate that.
There's one that I always sniff out.
Hold on. Oh my god. Oh jeez.
Scar?
Hold on. My headset flew off my head.
Dude, I can see it on the other screen, delayed. Just rolling off the back of your head.
I like a clear distinction of content to ad ends content. There's a few YouTubers that I do watch a lot, and oh my god, when they do the deceptive thing, I just like, that's so annoying to me. Just be honest to your audience. We've now gone to an ad, and they can choose to watch or skip. Not like you're halfway through it and you thought you were learning something, and now you're just learning something kind of skewed towards this ad. I really hate that.
I think it ties a little bit into the same problem we were talking about, which is they're thinking now, oh, I've got to retain the attention.
Exactly.
People can't skip because it's an ad, so I've got to make it feel like it's part of the content.
It's also not going to help them sell the product, because now people are just going to be annoyed.
Yeah.
Like if you make something funny, if you're honest, and that's fine. Like honesty. Be a little funny, silly. Don't be deceptive. Don't be creepy. Like, it's just annoying. I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah, I'm with you on it. Dude, there's one that I like sniff so early now. It's ridiculous. As soon as the conversation starts pivoting towards some kind of like cyber miscreants getting hold of your data, I'm just like, here comes the delete me ad sponsor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Incogni, here it is.
I'll be honest, do those actually work or not? Because I want to scrub the internet of my information. Do those actually work? I have no idea. I've never looked into it.
Let me save you the headaches, okay? I've researched the different companies.
Okay.
And Incogni seems to be the one to go with.
Okay.
I'm also a customer.
You're a customer, but you hate the ads.
Yeah, no, well...
I love that.
Look, I'm really passionate about like cybersecurity and what's going on with our data.
Yeah.
And I listen to podcasts about that kind of stuff. And so it's the perfect place for those kind of ads to be. Also, you know Nebula and the Nebula Creator Network, right?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever been to the site. Like a Wendover Productions or something like that will often like promote it at the end of their videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Or a Tom Scott. You must know Tom Scott. Oh,
the guy wears green sweatshirt. Yes.
the guy in the red shirt.
Yeah, he looks like he looks like Green from Minecraft, not Green from real life, but Green from Minecraft. He's got the red shirt. He looks like Green from Minecraft, not our real Green, like Green.
Yeah, like there's about 5, 6, or 7 creators from that network that I follow. So they all get the same sort of ads. So I hear Incogni over and over again. I did my research. Delete Me looks like it wasn't actually that good. Quite questionable. Incogni look really sound, and I've been a customer now for like half a year, and
not sponsored chat.
Their dashboards, and like they say, you see all the deleted entries and stuff. How effective it actually is, I couldn't really say.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Magic ball, you know what I mean? But I do it for peace of mind because it's a real legit threat, and if the threat is real, Incogni seems like the best option to try and combat that, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know how effective it is, there's nothing else out there really that's going in that direction. So you might as well try something, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was always curious a little bit about it. I wonder if they have a free plan. Give it a try.
Dude, you should get yourself a sponsorship. You could easily get one. Although they might not work with Minecraft YouTubers.
Yeah, very few people do. Yeah, very few people work with Minecraft.
They just think they think Minecraft is for kids. They don't realize that Minecraft can have like a mature audience.
What people don't realize is the vast majority of our audience is above the age of 16. The vast majority.
You were gonna say like 30, honestly.
I mean, I lowballed that a little bit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But the mean age of the audience is around from 18 to 25 is kind of like the core of the audience. A lot of like I would say back in season 6, our audience did skew a little bit younger than that, but we always had like a variety of different age groups. But yeah, we have far less younger audience, and I think that also goes to show that a lot less younger people are playing Minecraft or playing Roblox. And that's where our new CEO pal wants to kind of jumpstart Minecraft to appeal to more people.
Well, they got to fix that inventory first.
But
I'm not going to play this game with this inventory, are they?
But I've always found that I think it is nice that Hermitcraft has such an incredibly like wide and diverse audience. And I think that's like a strength of Hermitcraft that we've never like pigeonholed into like one narrow thing. We just make what we want in this group. And we've got like this crazy, diverse, awesome audience. And, you see some people that like narrow, and this might be good business, but I'm not a businessman, like narrow and focus on like one thing and exploit that. Hermitcraft, we just make stuff and people watch. Like often you see like the new style videos where people are like, this is the true secret behind Hermitcraft's success. They get to meetings and they have statistics in meetings. And it's like, bro, we talked for like 25 minutes about a random data pack the other day. There was no like deep analysis of YouTube statistics. No, we talked about, which granted, the data pack you talked about was darn cool, but it wasn't about deep lore and statistics of YouTube.
We never really do that too much, do we?
We don't do that at all.
We talk a little bit about our audience, but it's more in like an artistic way. It's more like, how can we better serve them? How can we better have the connection that we have? It's never really like numbers and stats or anything like that.
No, we're all awful YouTubers and awful business people, and that's great. I think that's actually I think that's the strength of the server and the longevity of the server, that we're not out here just like milking. We're just here having fun. Not a big fan of milk. Milkshakes are good.
We're all creatives. We're all creatives.
Yeah, I think that is one of the real strong benefits of Hermitcraft is we just make stuff and we put it out there. We're not out there being like a data analyst and trying to do this and this. I think that is a lot of YouTube videos, sadly, in this day and age, where people think less about the viewer's experience and how to just hook them into watching this video. And I'm not sure how satisfied they come out, which hence YouTube's new algorithm strategy for this year is how satisfied are you at the end of that video is determined how well that video is going to do. I still don't quite understand how that they determine the satisfaction of the viewer, but that is how YouTube's new algorithm is focusing on videos, is how satisfied are you when you finish
I'm
watching that
dubious.
video versus how long you watched it or if you touched the like button or any of those different things.
I'm dubious, Scar, because I think from a business model sense, what was the word again? Satisfied.
They're in the soup of the algorithm, all the different things that makes a video go up. One of the primary ingredients now is them trying to identify people feel satisfied from it.
Okay. I think, Scar, it's going to be like McDonald's versus having a salad. It's like, it's not satisfaction, it's the lack of satiation. They want you to stay on the platform, we know this.
Yeah.
And I get a sense like a lot of this content that's about capturing your engagement and starting to feel soulless, is it's always going to be, they don't want people to go, that was a great video, I'm going to go for a walk outside. They want you to keep looking at the device, right? They want you to watch ads. So I think it's going to be like that false sense of satiation is what they're going to be looking for.
Yeah.
I
can see why they want to do it. I can see why, because they want to, and they started to thankfully combat some of the AI farms out there that make the, the AI voice and the stock image things like that.
Have you heard about this Kurzgesagt issue? I watched this Real Engineering
Science Channel, right?
Yeah. I watched this Real Engineering video today, and like he's on the other end of that. He's constantly being impersonated by AI voice on the platform, and he can't get YouTube to do anything about it. And I think Kurzgesagt is suffering like an issue like that as well. So he's expressing that they're talking about doing all this stuff to combat AI slop, yet it's hurting actual creators, real people.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
By this. So I'm not sure. Like, I'm not well informed on this.
Yeah.
I saw something today was like the opposite interpretation of that. It was like, they say they're doing all this, but it's not working.
Yeah.
It's kind of their thing.
Yeah. I think the main, the main thing that they need to get rid of is those. They'll tell an algorithm or AI, whatever, to come up with a story, and then they make it very engaging where they like throw in a lot of, it's hard for me to articulate exactly why AIs, when they write a script, they throw in very specific words, they over explain, they over try to hook you, and then they throw in imagery that sometimes they'll like throw like a filter over it with like snow that falls, like. And the sad fact is, especially older people, they get hook, line, and sinker with these videos. It's just like, I feel like younger generations are a little bit more keen on this as like, something that's just hooking my attention for no reason. But I've seen like older generations just stare at the TV like this and watch it. Like, it's very particular. So when YouTube says they want to have like better satisfaction, the metrics they have are, and I don't know how well this works, is did you watch another one of the videos on that channel? Did you come back within the next 7 days? And when they give you those surveys at the end of videos where they say, how satisfied were you with this video? Give it a 5 stars. And then then you can click on like a few boxes of like how you would describe the video. Apparently those weigh currently in the algorithm at the moment very high. I hadn't looked at the algorithm in 4 years, and I saw an article go by and I read it and I was like, oh, that's different. That's different.
Do you think we're going to get people saying, hey, if YouTube asks you if you enjoyed this video, you give it 5 stars, don't be honest.
Dude, we've been around so long that I bet you remember when you had to people used to say, give the video 5 stars, favorite it, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I started YouTube with the star system.
We've seen people game the system so many times over the years, right?
Oh, yeah. YouTube's
like
constantly fighting that.
Everything we talked about today, they're still trying to game the system. They turn it over to watch time. People figure out how to game that. Now it's satisfaction. They'll figure out how to game that before long.
Go back in time. Go back to the Call of Duty era when Call of Duty dominated the platform. And one of the things that they would do was they would do giveaways, and YouTube stopped allowing these giveaways back then. But they would say, favorite the video, and out of the favorites, I will pick a winner for the Xbox 360. And so that's how a lot of these big guys used to get their videos up onto the homepage, was that they would have people favorite it, and favorites were way more weighted over likes. So they would favorite it, and it would get up there. The second thing they used to do back in the day was they would classify their videos under like pets and animals, home improvement. So on the homepage, YouTube's homepage was vastly different in the old days because it was mainly weighted towards search and subscriptions.
Yeah.
And then there would be on the homepage, it would be like top videos in pets and animals, top video in home and garden. I wish we had Joel here because Joel would remember this. But they would put the videos in those categories. So all of a sudden there was a Call of Duty video that would be in the pets and animals category at the top. Yeah. Like people have been gaming the system and they'll continue to do it. It's just it's a whack-a-mole, really.
I remember a theory that when PewDiePie moved out of Sweden or to Sweden, I can't remember which way around, he then appeared at like the top of Sweden and USA. And like the extra tag, geolocation tag, just immediately exposed him to a new massive audience.
Well, a lot of those YouTubers at the time had those crazy tricks that like propelled their channel in front of so many people. Now the platform's so saturated, it's harder to do that nowadays. But but that's such a weird nostalgia,
man. We lived through the good times. We got to be really honest with our content. We didn't have to we weren't trying to succeed on YouTube as the primary goal. We were succeeding at like being ourselves and having fun and being creative, and like YouTube rewarded that.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
We lived through that era.
Like I said, there's nothing wrong with making a living from content. It's just when you have an unquenching thirst for like, there's just like a vibe. Like there's nothing wrong with making a living. Everybody understands that. That's perfectly fine. But there's just an era now where people get into it only thinking of like a fame or a money scenario versus like how much fun am I having doing this and how much fun am I having sharing this with other people. Like your primary goal when you get into any form of content creation should be the love of what you're doing, followed by the love of sharing that with other people. That should be your primary goal.
I think everyone's so aware of the YouTube game that it's hard to come to YouTube as like a hobbyist, which is how we came to it. It was just a hobby. It was just a fun thing to do. And I don't think people can approach the platform like that anymore.
Yeah.
And if they do, they're probably not going to have success because you got to do all the tricks and stuff to stay in the game, it feels like.
Yeah, I do think that if someone comes in with good intentions like that, they want to create, an audience will find that, because a lot of, I think a lot of the people who sold their channels out to private equity, I think, you know, a lot of that era, I think is going to come to an end. I might be wish casting on that a little bit and more authentic content. I just have a feeling that there's a bell curve on that stuff.
I wouldn't put all those eggs in the same basket because, you know, Veritasium, do you know that channel?
Yes.
You surely know the guy who originally, Derek.
Yes.
Like
Science Man.
He sold to private equity.
Yeah.
And I honestly think it's been great for the channel. The level of content they put out has been utterly fantastic. Maybe one day the corporate side of it will start to erode that, but like so far that hasn't happened. It's actually leveled up the channel, if anything. You know? Yeah,
I think there's a reckoning with every one of those channels who've done that, because those private equity firms only want growth, and growth. There's plateaus, and like a channel like that has so much momentum behind it will garner a lot of views and benefit from extra editors and researchers and stuff. But there's a point where everything will plateau, and those companies are going to panic when that happens.
That's a great point. I feel like, if that momentum that they've currently got starts to stutter, I think that's when you might see something negative happen with the channel. Like how do you gracefully leave YouTube? How do you gracefully wind down or give it up or retire? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once it's in private equity's hands, that's not an option. They're always going to try to keep the train moving.
Yeah. I have a feeling like there's a good quote about like design and architecture. Like what's to come is what was. I'm going to butcher this quote as always, but it's one of my favorite quotes that I butcher all the time. But it's like, what's to come is what was lacking in the past. Now that is a butchered quote, but when you think about like architecture in particular. So after World War II, everything prior to that, there was a lot of like ornate design and this and that. After World War II, a lot of design went, at least in the United States, went very mid-century modern, very clean lines, things like that. because people wanted like order after chaos. And so you often see like color palettes and how they're circular and they come back. So right now we're coming out of an era of a lot of white, gray, and people are bringing in more and more color. And eventually 10 years from now, people are going to be sick of that color and they're going to go back to those grays and those whites. And like, it's always like what was missing in the past informs the trend of the future. And
if I can take that idea and just transpose it to all we've been discussing about, are we saying that it's like cyclical and that maybe something will change, a new platform might emerge, people will get over this kind of like retention grabbing environment and we'll go back to things being a little slower and more authentic? And
then dude, everything's probably a circle once we think about it. You know, the more you think about it, the more we've talked about it today. You know, when we started YouTube, this is funny, like everything was like poor quality. We literally had like junky mics. Look at the 2020 era. Like people kind of like gravitated towards like bad microphones, bad graphics, all of those like crudely drawn like graphics and this and that. And then it like, how to explain it? It's like, it feels like it's like things get really polished. And then people kind of look like more of like, oh, like the authentic, like scribbly drawing, like, oh, that's funny. I love that. And then those little scribbly drawings get more like polished and it goes back. It's just like a circle.
Yeah.
It could be. That's just a theory. That's just a Scar theory.
When it comes back round, we'll still be here.
Yeah, we're always doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I think that is, I've said it twice, but I think that is something nice about this group. We support each other. We support the community. We're all kind of a fun ecosystem, and it doesn't have the weird vibes of other stuff out there that's currently happening, which is nice. It's like a little island in a sea of chaos.
And there is weird vibes out there, man. I've been feeling them.
But that's nice about the community we do have. Like it's chill. It's chill. And it's nice.
Yeah.
And I think like when you know, I think as long as we like, yeah, I don't know.
I know what you mean, Scott. It's great to be a part of Hermitcraft. We've got something beautiful here, haven't we?
Some people are chill. Okay. Yes. Some people need to stop feeding themselves on the udder of drama. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I was trying to get. Like, there are people like as long as like people can just enjoy the content, enjoy fan art, enjoy memes and all that stuff, like just don't wait. How am I going to explain this? It feels like there's parts of the internet that just wait out there for the next drama, and that's annoying. That's annoying.
Yeah, you don't have to pay attention to that stuff though.
Yeah.
Like if it weighs on your mental health,
it does. Yeah, it does.
You can look away from it. I used to follow the YouTube drama channels, and I gave it up years ago, and I'm quite happy that I did.
Oh yeah,
because I got no idea what the drama is, who said what.
Oh yeah, the further you get away from that, it goes back to what I was saying about like junk food is same as junk information. It makes you feel gross after you consume it, and it's the same thing. Like eating a lot of junk food makes your stomach hurt. Ingesting a lot of junk information makes your head hurt, and it makes you feel bad. Like the more I've like done things that I've enjoyed and stayed away from stuff like that, the happier and better I feel. And the more productive I've been, the more junk I've ingested, especially in the past, the least productive, the least happy, and more miserable I've ever been. So like, the more I'm like reading books I enjoy or hanging around people I like, and just doing those little things makes me so much more like even keeled.
What's weird about it is it's like that negative stuff is so magnetic. It's like you have to be conscious and you have to be disciplined to do the good things. Mm-hmm. It's way too easy to do the negative.
Exactly. Yeah. It's exactly. It's exactly. Absolutely. It's crazy. And it's not to say like, you know, sometimes you want to have a piece of cake. Cake's wonderful, but eating the whole cake's going to make you sick.
Too right.